Again, good evening. And this time, I will be discussing with you the pre-board for March 2023 Philippine Licensure Examination for teachers, particularly for mathematics majors. So this one is based on the new competencies released by PRC. And I will be discussing 120 items in the course of 4 sessions. Every day, I hope I could discuss 30 items. And tonight, we will be discussing the first 30 of them. Let's see how well we performed. Let's start the discussion with item number 1. But before that, be reminded that for this particular review, write the letter of the correct answer before the number. If the correct answer is not found among the choices, write E. Number 1. The numbers 1, 2, and 3 are said as yi, san in this language. What is this language? Is it Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, or Mongolians? Please type down your answer in our chat. Okay, I could see a lot of A's. And with that, let's see if A is indeed correct. Is it Chinese? Actually, that is correct. If we could see from here, you have Yi, San, Si, Wu, Liu, Chi, until the rest. I'm not very sure if my pronunciation is correct, but that is how we spell them. Also, we have Ju. This one is for your Japanese. For Koreans, this is how you say them and how you write them in their language. And for Mongolians, you have this thing. So to everyone who answered letter A, you got it right po. That's a good start. And I believe that many of you, if not all, got the correct answer. So good start. Number 2, which of the following is equal to the Roman numeral MCCXVIII? Is it letter A, 1128, 1118, 1218, or D, 1228? All right. This one, I could see that many of you answered letter C for number 2. Let's see if you are correct. Okay, number 1, the letter A option, 1128 in Roman numerals is MCXXVIII. The I here, the M is for 1000. For 100, that's C. For the 20, that's XX. And for the 8, that is VIII. I believe we are familiar on how to write numbers in this way. And in Roman numerals, for example, if you place a digit which has a smaller value at the left, then that means you are subtracting that value. And if you are placing that that digit or that letter at the right, that means you are adding it up. For letter B, ano po? Ito po ay MCXVIII. In fact, letter C nga po yung tamang sagot. And for D, 1228, that's MCCXXVIII. And letter C is the correct answer here. So good job po to everyone who commented letter C. But if you did not answer C, it's still okay. At least we could review how to write them. Number 3, which of the following units of measure could best measure the height of a flagpole? A, centimeters, B, meters, C, millimeters, or D, kilometers? Let's see. So far, I could see that many of you commented letter B, which is meters. In your opinion, bakit po best yung meters? Why not cm? Why not mm? Why not kilometers? Anyone po? Okay, Mr. Reyes, Sir Jason.
Yes, sir. Because if we measure that with either cm or or kilometer is a long measure, and then centimeter is very small. So we will add 2 or and 3 zeros to the length. Example, 25 meters, it will be times 2,500 centimeter, and is more than that. Add zero again. So it's better to use meter. It's a very clean measurement.
Okay, that's actually a good point, sir. Actually, in my case, I will not use centimeter or millimeters because in doing such, I could measure the height of the flagpole or the length of a flagpole with a bigger number, right? If I use kilometer, then most likely I will get a number that is a decimal because usually or typically the height of a flagpole is less than a kilometer. And if you measure in meters, somehow we could represent the height or the length of this flagpole using a relatively smaller value. With that, I agree. Letter B. Okay, so to everyone who answered B, congratulations. All right, let's move on to item number 4. Tama nga naman, Sir Freddy. No? I think I agree. It's difficult to you measure using a caliper. So probably we could use this. We could measure using a meter stick, or if not, we could use trigonometry uh, to determine the length of your flagpole. Okay, let's how about number 4? Miguel is determining the length of the room using his feet. What particular concept is he using? Sandamak, dangkal, tipa, or pisig? All right. I can't help but see that there are a lot of E's. Okay. To everyone, no? Okay, I see letter B, dangkal. Okay, according to Ma'am Julie Beth daw, it should be talampakan and to the rest as well. Okay. Pero, meron din namang sumagot ng B at saka ng D. Okay. But this time, using his feet. So kung ginagamit po natin yung paa, take note paa po. The feet here in this particular case, paa po yung ginagamit. Hindi po yung feet na 1 foot na equivalent to 12 inches. Hindi po. So take note, dangkal is this one. Normally po in some resources, no, yung dangkal po is ito po yung length ng middle finger po yung iba papunta dito. Bisig naman po is the length of this one here going to the elbow. Talampakan is the length of your foot. And tipa is your arm span. And sandamak is the width of the hand with 5 fingers pressed together like this po. So it's not A because that's sandamak. B, it's all about tangkal. Tipa is letter C. And D is in fact your bisig. Letter E po yung ating tamang sagot. Okay. Yes po, ma'am, you have question po or clarification? Okay. So, sige. So, the correct answer po is letter E. Okay. I hope na nakuha po natin. Number 5. Carl Friedrich Gauss said that blank is the queen of mathematics. Is it A, algebra, B, arithmetic, C, calculus, or D, set theory? So this item is a bit controversial. B daw, okay. Dog. Set theory. So may nagsasabing B, may nagsasabing D. In fact, aside from the choices here, there are also some other choices claiming no na ibang field po siya. Yes, no? So may sumagot din po ng E. Okay. But actually po, take note nagba-vary po siya sa source. According to this one, mathematics is the queen of sciences and arithmetic is the queen of mathematics. Pero however po, so some sources claim that it's in fact number theory. Okay? So some sources po claims it's number theory, but since we have a choice there that states arithmetic, so we will consider arithmetic po as the best answer here. Hence, for number 5, we will go with letter B. Arithmetic. Pero kung may number theory po sana, number theory po sana yung the best answer po. Okay po? Nakuha po natin yung explanation.
Yes, sir.
Okay, salamat po. So I think some of us got it right. All right. Number 6. He was a Swiss mathematician and is one of the most prolific mathematicians of all time, publishing close to 900 books. Is he Leonard Euler, Isaac Newton, Leonardo Pisano, or Blaise Pascal? Okay, please comment your answer. Okay, that's so far. I could see a lot of A's for number 6. If you answered letter A, let's see if you got it. Take note, one of the best clues here is that he is a Swiss or from Switzerland. And the correct answer is indeed letter A. Leonard Euler, oh sorry, Leonard Euler is one of the most prolific mathematicians of all time, publishing close to 900 books. When he went blind in his late 50s, his productivity in many areas increased. Letter A. So, unfortunate for him, he went blind, but somehow when he went blind, he became more productive in publishing books. And in fact, um, many terms were named after him, such as the Euler line, the Euler circle, um, Euler's identity, among others. Letter A is the correct answer. Good job, everyone. So don't worry, for those who have weak signal right now, we understand. But we will post this recorded presentation if ever you cannot join po. Okay, thank you. Number 7. He is best known for his Arithmetica, a work on the solution of algebraic equations and on the theory of numbers. Is it Pythagoras, Euclid, Diophantus, or Archimedes? If you answered, okay, let's see. So far, I could see a lot of Diophantus answers. Diophantus is, in fact, let's see, it's actually correct. Diophantus is best known for his Arithmetica, a work on the solution of algebraic equations and on the theory of numbers. When we studied number theory, we learned about Diophantine equations or linear Diophantine equations. And one of the best, one of the mathematicians who worked on them is Diophantus, and it was in fact named after him. Letter C is the correct answer. Okay, so far, so good po tayo. Let's proceed to item number 8. He invented the field of linear programming. Is he George Danzig, Girolamo Cardano, Isaac Newton, or Leonard Euler? Okay, mukhang marami yata makaka-perfect dito Okay, a lot of A's. And that makes me happy if it's correct. But let's see. If you answered Girolamo Cardano, that's actually incorrect. If you Isaac Newton is in fact known about his 3 laws of motion. The first law being the law of inertia, the second one about the law of acceleration, and the third one about the law of interaction. Leonard Euler it's not him, and it's actually George Danzig. George Bernard Danzig, Professor Emeritus of Operations Research and of Computer Science, devised the simplex method and invented linear programming. In 1947, Danzig devised the simplex method, an important tool for solving linear programming problems in diverse applications, such as allocating resources, scheduling production and workers, planning investment portfolios, and formulating marketing and military strategies. Letter A is the correct answer here. Okay. So far, I'm very happy because many of you got the correct answers. Number 9. Find the sum of these 15 numbers. 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus ... all the way until 100. Is it letter A, 529, B, 576, C, 625, or D, 729? Or is it E, do you think? If you answered E, it means that the correct answer is not found among the choices. Okay, according to the comments here, the answer is E, like in the case of Sir Malcolm, it's 2,550 daw. Sabi din ni Rasmia. Okay. Okay. So in your case, paano po ninyo kinompute yung actual sum po, if you don't mind? What method did you use po to compute?
Arithmetic, sir.
Tama. It's actually an arithmetic series po, no? Tama?
Yes po.
Okay. Meron pong ilang terms dito?
Yeah, 50 terms.
Tama. Meron po tayong 50 terms. Parang kilala ko yung boses na to, Familiar.
Yes, sir.
iPhone,
Good
mayaman.
afternoon, good afternoon.
Thank you po. Okay. So actually, marami pong ways to solve this one. And in fact, I solved this using investigation po. Take a look at this. If I have only one even number in this series, the answer is 2, which could be expressed as 1 times 2. How about dalawa? Let's have the sum of the first two even numbers here. 2 plus 4, that's 6. But 6 could be expressed as 2 times 3. How about if I get the sum of the first 3 in even numbers in this series? 2 plus 4 plus 6, ilan po? 2 plus 4 plus 6 is?
12, sir.
12. But could 12 be expressed as a product of two consecutive integers? Pwede siya, no? Pwede siyang 3 times 4, di po ba? How about the sum of the first 4 even numbers in this series? Ilan po?
20.
20 po, di ba? 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 is 20, but 20 could be expressed as 4 times 5. Di po ba? So kung nakikita po natin, if there's only one, the sum is 1 times 2. If there are 2 of them, the sum is 2 times 3. If there are 3 of these numbers, the sum is 3 times 4 or 12. If there are 4 of them, then the sum is 4 times 5, which is 20. But you have mentioned that there are 50 numbers here. So what two numbers do you think should we multiply to get the sum based on the pattern? Anyone?
50 times 51, sir.
Very good. Since there are 50 even numbers in this series, so following the pattern, the sum of the even numbers from 2 to 100 is 50 times 51 or 2,550. If you answered letter E, great job. Congratulations to everyone who answered letter E. Nakuha po natin? I hope so.
Yes, sir.
Thank you po. Number 10.
Yes, sir.
Salamat po. Suppose A is equal to 30 plus 29 plus 28 all the way until 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. Thank you po. And B is equal to 30 squared minus 29 squared plus 28 squared minus 27 squared all the way until 4 squared minus 3 squared plus 2 squared minus 1 squared. For letter B, you just square each term here, but the signs now are alternating. What is true between A and B? Is it A? A is greater than B. B, A is less than B. C, A is equal to B. Or D, A is not equal to B. Okay, please comment down your answer po. I could see for number 10 that some of you answered letter A, letter C, and some of you answered letter B. Now, may sumagot din ng D that A is not equal to B. Let's see who among you got it. Because this one, no, it's all about pattern finding. It's all about investigating. And there is, in fact, an elegant way to solve this or to answer this. Okay, this is your letter A. I will not find the answer yet, but siguro yung iba sa inyo may luxury of time. So yung ginawa nyo siguro for letter B is that sinolve nyo talaga isa-isa. Like, kinompute nyo po manually. But I can show you that it is not necessary, that there's a way rather to do this without tediously simplifying each term. Ito po yung letter B. Note that, di ba, alam po natin na if we have a difference of two squares, I took the example here of the first, if I pair them, 30 squared minus 29 squared, di ba, difference of two squares po sila? If you have x squared minus y squared, ano nga yung factor nun? Nung x squared minus y squared po?
X plus y times x minus y.
Tama po. That's x plus y times the quantity x minus y. And the same principle will be applied here. We let x be equal to 30 and we let y be equal to 29. And this could be expressed as 30 plus 29 times the quantity 30 minus 29. Tama po? Do you follow? And kung makikita po natin, yung 30 minus 29 ay magiging 1. Tama po ba, di ba? 1 ito. Tapos 30 plus 29, I just express it as 30 plus 29. I did not add them. In a similar manner, I will take the next pair, 28 squared minus 27 squared, and using a similar reasoning, 28 squared minus 27 squared is equal to 28 plus 27 times 28 minus 27. But since yung 28 minus 27 ay magiging 1 lang din naman, so thus this is just equal to 28 plus 27. And so on until the 2 squared minus 1 squared could be expressed as 2 plus 1 times the quantity 2 minus 1. So therefore, if we will substitute B, this 30 squared minus 29 squared as 30 plus 29. This 28 squared minus 27 squared as 28 plus 27, all the way until the 4 squared minus 3 squared as 4 plus 3, and the 2 squared minus 1 squared as 2 plus 1. So, take a look po. Ito po yung A, ito po yung B. Is it greater than? Is A greater than, less than, or equal to B?
Equal, sir.
Tama po. You could actually see, no, that without actually simplifying everything, we know that A is equal to B, considering that they have the same, they could be represented as the same series. Letter C. Okay, so sa lahat po ng sumagot ng C na equal, you got it right. But if you did not answer C, it's okay. it's still a learning experience for everyone of us. Thank you. Haha, tumpak daw si C. Good job po. Congratulations. 11. A pizza maker intends to divide a circular pizza into 20 equal parts. What is the minimum number of cuts as diameters does he need to perform if pizzas will not be stacked after being cut? 7, 8, 9, or 10? Okay, 10 daw. All right, I see a lot of 10s. I mean D's, D, 10 rather. Let's see if D is tama. Let's see po. Kung makikita po natin, no, let's say I have here this circular pizza. If I draw a diameter like this, so isa pong slice yan. Kasi sabi sa problem, a slice as diameters. If there is one slice, how many pizza pieces can you see po? You could see 2, no? 2, di po ba? We have here 1 and we have here 2. How about kung dalawa po? Dalawa pong diameters. Dalawang cuts po. How many can you
4.
see kung dalawa na?
For sure.
4. Let's see kung 4 nga. Yan. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 nga. How about kung tatlong cuts? Kung tatlong cuts, ilan?
6 po, 6.
6.
6. Let's see. That's a third cut. 6 nga ba? Yes. How about kung 4 cuts?
8 po.
There are 4 cuts? I'm expecting 8. Di po ba? So ito po siya. If I have only 1 cut, there are 2 sectors, or when we say sector, parang slice siya, okay? Like this one, this one is a sector. That's the more technical term po. And so if you could see from here, if I have 3 cuts, that's 6 pieces, but 6 is 2 times 3. If there are 4 cuts, there are 8 sectors, but it is 2 times 4. So what have you noticed with the number of sectors in relation to the number of cuts?
The number of cuts is double the number of one half the number of sector.
Very good po. We could actually see from here that the number of cuts is half the number of sectors, or you could also say that the number of sectors is twice the number of cuts. That's why if we let x to be the number of cuts, then using that concept we just mentioned, then 2 times the number of cuts will give you 20. Dividing both sides by 2, that gives you x equals 10. Hence, we need exactly 10 cuts, letter D. Okay, saglit lang po. Okay, thank you. Okay, to everyone who answered D, great job. Number 12. What is true of the sum of the first 101 positive odd numbers? It is A, odd, B, even, C, prime, or D, none of the choices. Okay? Okay, I could see a lot of A's. You are convinced na odd yung sagot. Okay, in your opinion po, bakit po, okay, may sumagot naman po ng even, okay? Okay, pero karamihan po sa atin ay sumagot ng A. Why A po? Anyone?
Bale sir, if you would like to add the example consecutive positive odd numbers 3 times to the 3, so it will be always add. So and then 4 even number, count even number, it will be even. So 101 is odd number. It will always be positive if you will add the to the add number times.
Very good. That's actually the point here. Okay, let me reiterate the point of Sir. Ito po yung point niya. If you have just one odd number, di ba 1 yung sagot? So 1 is an odd number. If you have the first two odd numbers, 1 plus 3, magiging 4 yung sagot, and 4 is an even number, di po ba? How about first three odd numbers? 1 plus 3 plus 5, it's 9, which is odd. If you have the first four odd numbers, 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7, which is 16, which is even. So I guess may nakikita po kayong pattern, no? And according to Sir, which I agree with, the sum of even number of odd numbers is even, like this. There are even numbers here, 2. There are 4 odd numbers. Their answers are even. And if you have an odd number of odd numbers, then yung kanilang sum po ay also odd, like this. There's one odd number here, the answer is odd, the sum is odd. There are 3 odd numbers, the answer is also odd. At dahil sa problem, it asks the sum of 101 odd numbers, and we know that 101 is odd. So even without direct computation, but utilizing the pattern, we are sure that the answer here is odd. So letter A. But we are also certain that it's not a prime number. Why not prime? Because if you could see po at the pattern here, the answers are 1, 4, 9, 16, which are perfect squares. And so, and since the sum of the sum here are perfect squares, with the exception of one puno, the rest of the sums are perfect squares, then I'm sure po na hindi po prime number yung sum nito. So letter A is the correct answer. I hope we got it. 13. Which of the following statements is incorrect about mathematical investigation? By the way, in this actual copy, I corrected. I placed here A, B, C, D, but it should be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Is it 1, 3, 1 and 2, 1, 2 and 4, or 1, 3 and 4? Take note, yung hinahanap po natin ay incorrect about mathematical investigation. Letter A daw.
Sir, in the
Mhm.
PDF, there are no choices. Like you
Ah?
just put A,
Yes, sir.
mathematical investigation,
Yes po.
B,
wala
doing
pong
mathematical
choices.
Oh,
investigation.
ABCD
There are
lang
no
po.
choices available po.
Okay. Pero yung nakalagay po dito ay A, B, C, D po.
Yes.
Pero nakalagay,
Yes, sir.
nakalagay po ba yung sentences?
Yes,
Pero may
the sentences
nakalagay.
are present.
Okay.
However, the choices are not available.
Yung yung
Okay.
1
The
and 3, 1 and
options like
4
1
wala
and
po, sir.
2.
Really po? Yung ito po, wala?
Yes, sir.
Yung sa
Ay,
baba
Yes,
po.
sir.
okay.
Actually, sir,
sorry.
there are also items. There were also items that you said find the missing item and the figure shown below.
According to
However, the figures were not found.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I will send po an updated copy po in our GC, in our page po. So thank you for that honest
Thank you.
feedback po.
Thank you po.
So for now, this will be a bonus question because I think there was a change in the formatting. That's why probably. Okay, but anyway, let's answer this. Is 1 correct? Mathematical investigation is a close-ended exploration of a mathematical problem or situation. Is this
Wrong, sir.
I think it's open and wrong.
correct ba ito o incorrect?
Incorrect, sir.
Incorrect. Because when we speak about mathematical investigation, it is an exploration of an open-ended situation. That is, given a situation, an open-ended situation, you choose aspects of it that you wish to solve. How about number 2? In doing mathematical investigation, one visits the internet to determine the formula that leads to answers to questions.
Hindi natin
Is
alam sir
it
kung correct lahat ang sa
Correct.
internet. Incorrect
correct
ata
ba
sir.
ito o incorrect? I believe this one is incorrect now.
Incorrect sir,
So
yes.
usually po, if we are doing mathematical investigation, it is actually our duty to determine the pattern and use mathematical concepts to derive conjectures and even to prove them. So hindi po natin talaga hinahanap direkta yung formula. We discover the formula if possible among ourselves, if possible po. So 2, I believe, is incorrect. How about 3? Mathematical investigation should be done in a considerable amount of time. This one is correct or incorrect?
Maybe.
Correct sir. Correct sir.
Correct.
Correct.
Tama po. That's why considerable amount of time. How about 4? Mathematical investigation is learner-centered inquiry and hence students are given freedom and flexibility by the teacher. It's
Yes, sir.
also correct. It's also correct,
Correct,
or
sir.
incorrect?
I think
Tama
correct.
po.
Right.
It's correct. That's why yung incorrect po dito ay 1 and 2 and it has to be letter
Letter
B.
B.
But again, in your actual paper, if there's something wrong probably, so we will take this one as a bonus for us. Okay, thank you.
Kaya sir, in-answer ko letter A lang.
So don't worry po, no? I will
Number
send
1.
you the updated copy
Prefer an answer
soon
ko
as
letter B.
possible. Okay. But anyway, bonus po for now. Thank you. Number 14. What function produces the first 5 terms of the sequence 0, 3, 10, 21, and 36? Did you go for A, B, C, or D? Sabi ni Sir Jason, letter C daw. Sabi ni Sir Jonathan, C din. And I believe many are coming and letter C din po, no? Yung sagot ng lahat ng nag-comment so far. Okay, let's discuss it. So when we speak about sequence po, a sequence is actually a function whose domain is the set of natural numbers and whose range is the set of real numbers. So actually, if we check for C, if we check letter C po, di ba first 5 terms po yung hinihingi, so we will represent or substitute X with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Dito po kasi, no, I believe it's better siguro if you do direct substitution po. If we let X be equal to 1, then f of 1 will be 2 times 1 squared minus 3 times 1 plus 1, that's 0. If you do f of 2, if you do direct substitution here, that's 2 times 2 squared minus 3 times 2 plus 1 equals 3. And using your calculators po on your own, f of 3 is 10, f of 4 is 21, and f of 5 is 36. And I believe that these were the given. And dahil tumama po lahat, then C is the correct answer here. You could check with direct substitution that A, B, and D won't work. Letter C po, yung tamang sagot.
Sir,
Okay.
sir,
Questions
sir,
po?
I have a suggestion. A suggestion.
Po? Yes,
I
yes.
think a suggestion po. I think it would be better. It would be faster if we're going to use the calculator technique, like because it's
Exactly.
easier to use. You just input the
Opo, solve lang.
equation and then press calc and then
Yes.
substitute
Tama po.
enter the value.
I-input mo yung function, tapos evaluate at 1, 2, 3, 4, at saka 5.
Yes, sir. It's
Okay.
faster, quite faster. Thank you.
I do agree with that as well. Okay, thank you po. So hopefully next time po maka-calc technology po tayo. Okay, 15. It is a part of the mathematical investigation paper where the investigators check if the formulas found is true for all cases. Did you go for deriving, verifying, justifying, or summarizing?
Verifying.
Okay, let's see. Letter B, ang Sagot ng karamihan sa atin. Tama nga kaya ang B? O likwak ganun? Joke lang. Check po natin. So, for number 15, let's discuss them. When we speak about deriving, you are still figuring out the formula or the conjecture from the given situation. So dito po, tinatry pa lang po nating i-discover kung ano po yung formula o conjecture. But in this case, according in the problem or in this item, it was mentioned that meron ka ng formula. So hindi ka na mag-derive. For verifying, if you answered letter B verifying, I'm sorry to say this, but it is actually incorrect. Bakit po? When we say verifying, you are checking if the formula is true for some tried and untried cases. So, for example, in your data gathering, you check it for n equals 1. You check it for n equals 2, it worked. Let's say you tried it for an extreme case. Let's say, chinek mo ba, tama kaya yung formula ko if n is 10? Bakit mali din yung verifying? Kasi sabi dito, yung verifying kasi is true for some only, some cases only. You will verify it to be true for some cases. And if you would like to prove it, if it's true for all cases considered in your investigation, then it's actually justifying why the formula works for all considerable values within your domain, for example. For some, verifying. For all, justifying. And letter D, summarizing, states the main points of the investigation process. The correct answer here is letter C. Nakuha po natin? Did you understand me
sir.
po? Okay,
Yes po.
so careful po.
Got po.
Okay, so careful po. Okay, sige po. So careful po ha. One word made a difference. Kung some sana, verifying. Ole, so justifying. 16. To prove a conjecture, Maria checked if it worked for n equals 1. She assumed it to be true for n equals k, and she is trying to prove that the conjecture is true for n equals k plus 1. What method of proof is he trying? Is she doing? Is it direct method, indirect method, mathematical induction, or direct substitution?
Okay. Jeez, kaya para kuan. 3 hours.
Yes, anyone? Okay, so far I could see letter C. I could see also some letter D.
Oh.
And let's see. The correct answer here is, I think you have done this in your number theory classes. Like if you wish to prove if a certain series is correct, halimbawa po, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus all the way until n is equal to n times n plus 1 all over 2. The correct answer here is letter, letter C. It's what you call the principle of mathematical induction. That is, if you found it to be true for n equals 1, the base case, for example, and if you showed it to be true for some n, and magiging true din siya for n plus 1, then you are able to show na true siya for all natural numbers. So this is an example of proving by using mathematical induction po. And you can use this if you are proving series, for example. So I hope you answered. If you answered C, you got it right. Number 17. If x over 2 minus x over 6 is an integer, which of the following statements is always true? A, x is a multiple of 6. X, B, x is even. C, x is a multiple of 4. Or D, x is odd. Okay, please comment your answer po. Letter A daw, sabi ni Sir Malcolm, ni Sir Freddy, ni Sir Jonathan, ni Ma'am Marilyn, ni KB, at At I think lahat-lahat po ata nang nag-comment dito, A po yung sagot nila. Check po natin kung tumpak ganun o ligwak ganun. Okay, let's see po. Okay. If we have this expression, ano po yung LCD nila? Yung
6
LCD
po.
po ay 6. Tama. So we could combine them, no? As we could express them. So if their LCD is 6, so 6 divided by 2, that's 3. 3 times x will give you 3x minus 6 divided by 6, that's 1. 1 times x is x. So you could express this as 3x minus x on over 6. And this simplifies to 2x over 6. Now, ang tanong ko lang is letter A correct? If x is a multiple of 6, will this be an integer po?
Yes.
Try po natin. Try po natin kung 6 siya. 6 divided by 6, magiging, di ba you notice, kung multiple of 6 po yung numerator natin, then this one will surely be an integer considering your denominator is 6, then you could divide 6 from both numerator and denominator. So A is actually correct. How about
Yes.
B? Kung even ba si X, does it guarantee na magiging integer ito?
Pwede maging 4 over 6,
Not
sir.
necessarily.
It could be true
Not
for some,
necessarily.
but it's not necessarily true
Yeah.
for all cases. Halimbawa po, X equals what?
4.
Halimbawa, X equals 4. If X is 4, 2 times 4, that would be 8. 8 over 6 will be 4/3, which is not an integer. So B is not always true. How about letter C? X is a multiple of 4. I think you did that for letter. You chose 4 earlier, and it's not also an integer.
Correct.
How about D? X is odd.
Not necessarily.
Not then. If you choose X equals 1, magiging 1/3 lang siya,
1/3.
which is not an integer. That's why B, C, and D cannot produce a statement that's always true. But X, a multiple of 6, will always produce an integer for this case. Hence, letter A nga po, yung tamang sagot. Nakuha po?
Yes po.
Okay, salamat. So A nga po, yung tamang sagot. Number 18.
Sorry po. Nagkulog ang keyboard.
Okay. Number 18. What is the sum of the prime factors of 360? Is it 9,
Letter B?
10, 12, or 15? May sumagot ata ng E. Okay? I think may sumagot ata ng B rin kanina. May nag-mention, I think. Meron ding sumagot ng C at saka E. May B din. Okay. First and foremost, ano po ba yung prime factorization ng 360? 360 is equal to? Yes,
2
po?
times 3. 2 times 3 times 2 times 3 times 2 times 5.
Okay. Or that is 2 cubed times 3 squared times 5. Tama po. Now yung tanong po, ano po yung prime factors ng 360?
The prime
These
factors
are
of 360 are 2, 5, and 3 only.
Tama. Ang tanong po is, dahil merong tatlong 3 rin ba? Merong tatlong 2. So will I add also
Kabilang lang
tatlong 2?
po.
Or will I
You
take
will
them
add
only
only one
once,
for each factor.
regardless of their number? We will?
You will only add for each factor.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I
Na-overlook.
agree.
Na-overlook, sir.
So I agree with Sir Freddy. I agree with Sir Freddy The prime factors
Ma'am,
here.
pwede pa, pa-mute po nung, ang inyo.
Pa-mute
So,
naman.
so I do agree with Sir Freddy. The prime factors here are 2, 3, and 5. And note that in this particular problem, or in this particular question, we are not supposed to duplicate them. That's why we take each prime factor only once, and that their sum here should be 2 plus 3 plus 5 or 10. Letter B. Be very careful po ha. Kasi po kapag inalp niyo 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 5, your answer will be 17, which is letter E. So we have to be very careful po. 10 lang po yung tamang. 10 po yung tamang sagot natin. Salamat. Okay. Okay, dumayo po tayo sa number 19. What is the sum of the product and quotient of negative 10 and 10? Did you go for negative 98, negative 99, negative 101, or negative 103?
Letter C po ba, sir?
Letter B, may letter B po
C?
or C? Yes
C.
po?
C po.
C daw. Okay. Let's see kung tama nga ba si C. So, ano pong pagkakaintindi ninyo dito? Sum ng product at quotient ng negative 10 at 10. So, yung product, you will multiply them. Yung quotient, you will divide them. And after getting yung product at quotient nila, i-add po natin yung result. So, which such, this is the correct expression here. Negative 10 times 10 plus the ratio of negative 10 and 10. And with that, it will become negative 100 plus negative 1, which gives us negative 101. So letter C nga po yung tamang sagot. So, good job po sa lahat ng sumagot ng C. Okay. Tumpak ganar. Okay. 20. What part of an hour has passed from 2:48 p.m. to 3:32 p.m. of the same day? In the actual copy po ninyo, I think wala po yung word na of the same day. So please, it's of the same day po. Thank you. Is it 11:15s, 13:15s, 11:12s, or 14:15s? Okay. So to do this, we have to determine how long lapsed from 2:48 p.m. to 3:32 p.m. Ilang minutes po yan? Okay, that's exactly 44 minutes.
Letter A
Tama
po.
po. So, yung 1 hour po natin ay 60 minutes, di po ba? That's why, if we take the ratio of 44 and 60 or 44 over 60 and divide both numerator and denominator by 4, which is their GCF, then you get 11/15. Letter A nga po. Good job. Okay. All right. Number 21. How many integers between 1 and 210 are divisible by both 10 and 15? Is it 7, 8, 9, or 10? Okay, may sumagot ng 7. May sumagot ng A. May sumagot ng E. So far, dalawang answer yung nakita ko, A at saka E. Halos karamihan sa inyo sumagot ng A. Mayroong atang isa, no? Si Sir Jonathan na sumagot ng E. Ang tanong ko lang, sino kaya yung tama? Yung karamihan o yung hindi yung majority? Let's see po. Ang tanong ko lang po dito po in this case, R1, okay. Kapag sinabi po natin divisible by both 10 and 15, then that number should be divisible by the least common multiple of 10 and 15. So ano po yung LCM ng 10 at 15?
I-multiple sila, sir.
Okay. Tama. So Sir Jonathan Go commented 30. Correct po. So that it's like this problem could be restated as how many integers between 1 and 210 are divisible by 30. Yung tanong ko rin po is, are 1 and 120 and 210 included? Kasi sabi dito, between 1 and 210. So, are 1 and 210 included or not? They are not included po. That's why if we list all the natural numbers between 1 and 210, you get 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, and 180. We will not include 210 kasi sabi po sa problem, between. Kung sinabi po sana within or from 1 to 210, included po sana yung 210. That's why there are only 6, and that is letter E. Nakuha po natin. So, Sir
Yes,
Jonathan
sir.
got it right
Sobrang
po.
careless.
It's okay lang po. Ma'am Karen also got it right. It's okay po, no? Kasi yun po minsan, mamimiss out po natin siya. That's why it's very important po na alam po natin yung ibig sabihin ng mga terms na nandyan. Kasi minsan, although alam po natin yung concept, baka mali po yung pagkakaintindi natin o mali po yung pagkakabasa natin. So minsan po doon po tayo magkakamali. So it's okay po. Laban lang. Okay. 22. In one class, 1/3 of the students are male students. Of these male students, 2/7 are varsity athletes. If there are 4 male varsity athletes in the class, how many students are there in the class? Okay. What do you think?
Letter A po, sir. 42.
Let's see kung tama nga ba yung A. 42 daw. Okay. So siguro, yung ginawa ng iba ay kinuha muna niya yung 1/3 ng 42. Halimbawa ganito, 1/3 of 42, that's 14, no? Tapos minultiply nyo, 2/7 times 14, that's 4. Tama din po yan. My way is more of algebraic. So when we say of, no, it actually implies multiplication. So 1/3 of 2/7 of x, that's why 1/3 times 2/7 times x equals 4. Simplifying the left-hand side po, magiging 2/21x po siya equals 4. At saka, so with this, no, multiplying both sides by 21/2, 4/2 will be 2. 2 times 21 will be 42. Indeed, there are 42 students in that class. Letter A po. Tama. 23. So, I think marami po nakakuha ng tamang sagot. Yay, palakpak yourself. Good. 23. What is the average of 1/2, 1/4, and 1/5? Did you go for 13/25, 19/30, 19/60, or 13/27? Okay, Sir Jason said C, 19/60. Same answer also with the many people who commented. In this case po, ano pong gagawin natin to get the average of these three numbers, of these fractions?
I-add
We
po,
will what?
sir, then kunin yung average.
I-add tapos divided by
Kunin po
what?
yung average. Divided by 3 po.
Exactly. So to get the average or the arithmetic mean of the three numbers, we have to get their sum and divide it by 3. So you could accomplish this easily with your calculators. But if you wish, no, so that becomes 1/2 plus 1/4 plus 1/5 all over 3 or divided by 3. The sum of these three numbers here inside the parentheses is 19 over 20. If you divide by 3, that's the same thing when you multiply by 1/3. And 19 over 20 times 1/3, that gives you 19 over 60. So tama nga naman po yung ating letter C. Okay, good job. So far, so good. Okay. 24. A recipe is good for 6 persons. Calls for 3/4 cup of milk. How much milk will be needed by a recipe for 9 persons? Is it 9/8 cup, 1 cup, 2 cups, or 15/8 cup? What do you think po? Letter?
A.
Okay, I see I have here 9/8. What kind of proportion is this? Is this direct, indirect, or partitive? Sige, review po natin yung concept. Okay, sabi ni Sir Jonathan, direct, and I do agree with this. Because when we say direct proportion po, as one quantity increases, the other quantity also increases. Or vice versa, if one quantity decreases, the other quantity should also decrease. The more number of persons, the more cups of milk needed for the recipe, and so on. So with such, no, if we let X to be the amount of milk needed for such, if we, this one, in this ratio, proportion, number of people is to cups of milk, equals the number of people is to cups of milk po. Okay? What do we do next? We know that in a proportion, what do you call 6 and X, by the way? What do you call 6 and X?
Means an extreme, sir.
Tama. Yung 6 and X are, means ba sila o extremes? Yung
Extremes
6
po,
at saka X.
extremes po.
Extremes. Ano naman po yung 3/4 at saka 9?
Min po. Min.
Sila po yung ating means. Para hindi po tayo ma-confuse, no, yung yung first at saka last, yung parang pinaka-outer, yun yung extremes. Yung lahat ng nasa gitna, yun yung means. And we know that in a proportion, the product of the means is equal to the product of your extremes. That's why 6 times X will give you 6X. And 3/4 times 9 here. Also, that 6X equals 27 over 4 here. And if we divide both sides by 6, magiging X equals 27 over 24. And if we simplify this by dividing both numerator and denominator by 3, you get X equals 9/8 cups. So tama nga naman po yung ating letter A. Lahat ng A, correct po yan. Good job. Okay, dumako po tayo sa item number 25. If X equals 2Y plus 15, what is the value of 3X minus 6Y? 10, 15, 30, or 45? I could see that to all who commented, you answered letter D. Okay? Sige. That's nice. Okay? Okay. If you don't mind po, ano po yung process ninyo dito?
Substitution, sir.
Okay. So paano ka po nag-substitute po? How did you do that?
Substitute the X directly, sir.
Okay. Tama, no? So depende po sa process. Yung iba po, yung X na to, ay pinalitan niya po ng kabuuan ng 2Y plus 15. Tama nga naman po yan. Tama po. So in my case, however, a slightly different na po yung approach ko, but don't worry, it will give you the same answer. What I did was this. If I have X equals 2Y plus 15, I subtracted both sides by 2Y, which is x minus 2y equals 15. And the given is 3x minus 6y. And pwede siyang ma-factor, di po ba? You could factor 3x minus 6y by factoring out the least common monomial factor o yung GCF po natin. Ano po yung GCF nito? Ng 3x
Yes, sir.
at saka ng
3 po. 3.
3. So if we factor out 3, then this expression becomes 3. So 3x divided by 3 will be x. Negative 6y divided by 3 will be negative 2y. So that's why you have this set of factors. And for this, you could see that x minus 2y po, diba, is equal to 15. That's why this x minus 2y will be substituted by 15. And that gives us 3 times 15 or 45, letter C. Letter D, sorry. Okay. We now go to the next number. A rectangle has a perimeter of P equals 18x minus 14. If the length is 6x plus 3, find the area. Okay, it would be period pala. Is it A, B, C, or D po? Ano po yung inyong sagot? Okay, letter A daw.
Letter A po. A.
Okay, pero may sumagot din ng letter E na egg. So wala po. So far I could see apple or egg. Let's see. Let's discuss this one na. So we know po that the perimeter of a rectangle is equal to twice the sum of the length and width. Ito po. So from here, by substitution based on the problem, the perimeter is 18x minus 14 equals twice the length of 6x plus 3 plus w. What others do is they multiply the 2, they distribute the 2. But in my case, since 2 here was already factored, I will just divide directly both sides of the equation by 2. So 18x divided by 2 will be 9x. Negative 14 divided by 2 is negative 7 equals. So the 2 here will become 1. And 1 times this will simply be 6x plus 3 plus w. Since we are after the measure of a width, then I will subtract both sides by 6x plus 3. So 9x minus 6x will be 3x. This 3 here will become negative 3. Here on the left side, negative 7 minus 3 will be negative 10. That's why the width of this rectangle is 3x minus 10. And we know that the area of a rectangle is length times width. That's why multiplying 6x plus 3 and 3x minus 10, using the FOIL method po. So 6x times 3x will be 18x squared. 6x times negative 10 will be negative 60x. 3 times 3x is plus 9x. And 3 times negative 10 will be negative 30. You could see from this one po, that we can actually combine like terms. The negative 60x plus 9x simplifies to negative 51x. That's why the correct answer here is 18x squared minus 51x minus 30 square units, letter A. So may sagot po talaga. Letter A po. All right. Thank you. I hope you understood. 27. What is the range of y equals 3x minus 4? Is it all real numbers? B, positive reals. C, negative reals. Or D, y is not equal to 0. For number 27, I could see some answered letter D. We also have letter A. Yes, Ma'am Lasmia, you have a question po? Rasmia, ma'am, you have a question po? Okay. Or baka napindot lang ni ma'am. Hindi po ako sure. So with this, is it A or is it B? So when we speak about range, no, it is the set of all allowable or permissible values in the graph, for example. So with this one, actually, it would be helpful, no, if you wish to graph it, the graph actually looks like this. This is a portion of your graph using GeoGebra. And take note, no, this is in fact a linear function. And we have to remember po that if the graph of your line, which is neither vertical nor horizontal, meaning to say, if the graph of your line is falling to the right or rising to the right, then its domain is the set of natural numbers and its range is also the set of all real numbers. Letter A po. That's why if you will extend this line in both directions, we are sure po that whatever x element you choose, there will be a corresponding y element as part of your range. Therefore, sa lahat po ng sumagot ng A, di wow, good job po. Correct. 28. A man invests, by the way, before I proceed, may question po tayo or clarification about 27? None? Okay, thank you po. Let's
Sir,
proceed.
Suggestion ko na lang po regarding sa 27 kasi iba po yung ginawa ko actually. Kinuha ko po yung inverse function ng y is equal to 3x minus 4. Kasi yung pong mga possible values niya is yun yung domain niya po is yun po yung range ng function na y po.
Okay. The point here of sir, no, is actually, no, kung if you have studied functions, surjective functions, yung point ni sir is parang in-apply niya yung concept sa abstract algebra, which is about injective and surjective functions. In fact, no, kung we can actually prove that y equals 3x minus 4 if we have a mapping from the set of reals to the set of reals, then we could actually see na that this is a bijective function. When we say bijective function, it is both one-to-one and onto function. Kapag nangyari po yon, in simple language lang po, lahat ng x ay may pares na y, lahat ng y ay may pares na x. That's why sure po tayo, all reals po ito. Okay lang po? Some more questions po or clarifications? Wala? Okay. Because this time, no, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, abstract algebra is no longer part of the, if I'm not mistaken, abstract algebra is no longer part of the TOS, I believe. So in the tests I made or in this one, I did not include abstract algebra anymore po. But thank you for that, sir. That was very helpful. 28. A man invests 1/3 of his capital at 6% and the remainder at 8%. Simple interest for 1 year. Find his capital if his total income is 4,400 pesos. When we speak about total income for this case, ito po yung interest sa lahat ng investments niya. Okay, so I could see letter A. Okay, so yeah, may point po kayo ma'am KB, no? Postgraduate yan. So depende po, no? Sa amin po kasi sa school namin, undergraduate po namin yan. Sa college po namin talaga yan. Inaral yung abstract algebra, yung mga concept na ganyan. Depende po sa institution. Okay, so letter A, let's see. So what I did here was, in my case, I don't know what is the amount, no? But in this case, I let X to be the amount invested. let 1/3 x be the amount invested at 6%. Kasi di ba nakasaad 1/3? If 1/3 x was invested at 6%, what expression represents the amount that was invested? 8%.
2/3, sir.
Yes po?
2/3 po.
Tama. So 2 kasi di ba x minus 1/3 x will be 2/3 x. So I let 2/3 x be the amount invested at 8%. And if you could still remember, ano nga po yung formula for simple interest? Interest equals?
Po, principal times principal times
Principal
year
times
interest.
rate
PRT.
times time. PRT, di po ba? PRT. Where P is the
Opo.
principal or the amount you invested, R is the interest rate, and T is the time, which is usually expressed in terms of years. So dito po, ang next na ginawa ko po ay kinuha ko po yung interest. Ito po yung PRT sa first na investment, principal times the rate niya na 6%, which is 6/100 as a decimal, as a fraction. And your time is 1 year po, di ba? So 1 year. 1/3 x times 6/100 times 1 represents the interest for the first investment. For the second investment, that's 2/3 x times rate niya na 8% or 8/100 times 1 year, so 1. Ito po naman, yung second term, the 2/3 x times 8/100 times 1 is the interest for the second investment. And all in all, adding them would give you the total investment, which is 4,400 pesos. Simplifying this gives you 6/300x plus 16/300x equals 4,400. But if you use your calculator, I think it's much faster. I did not simplify this because it's good this way because they're similar fractions. So I got 22/300 times x equals 4,400. Multiplying both sides by 300/22 gives us x equals 60,000, letter A. So all in all, 60,000 pesos po yung ininvest niya lahat-lahat. And if you could check po, if you wish, no? 1/3 of 60,000, 20,000 was invested at 6%. And 2/3 times 60,000, so 40,000 was invested at 8%. So lahat po ng A, correct po. 29. Find the mean proportional to 4 and 36. Is it 4? I mean 72, 24, 12, or 9? Letter C
Letter
daw.
C
Okay.
po, 12.
Okay. Sabi ni Ma'am ni KB, I'm not sure if it's Ma'am KB or Sir KB, GM daw. And GM stands for geometric mean. And I do agree with that. Kapag sinabi po nating mean proportional, we are actually looking for one geometric mean between 4 and 36 for this case. And if we let x to be the mean proportional, we place them between 4 and 36. At dahil geometric mean po siya, yung geometric mean, meron ba tayong common? Ano nga yung constant na minumultiply natin all throughout? Meron siyang common difference or common ratio? Tama, common ratio. Yung common difference po, ginagamit po yan para sa arithmetic sequence. Yung common ratio naman po ay para sa ating geometric sequence. Okay. So with that, dahil meron tayong common ratio, if you divide the second by the first, that's why x/4, then that will be equal when you divided the third by the second term. That's why you have 36/x sa left. And from here po, multiplying both sides by 4x, or yung sabi ng iba, cross multiplication. 4 times 36 you have here. X times x will be x times x here. That's 144 equals x squared. And if we take the square root of both sides, you could actually get plus minus 12 as the value of your mean proportional. So x here could be positive 12. It could be negative 12 po. And since we have positive 12 as one of the choices, then we will choose that. So the correct answer here is letter C, 12. I hope you got it. And I think marami pong nakakuha. Okay. All right. And one more item for tonight, number 30. Find the 30th term of the arithmetic progression if the first term is 4 and the third term is 10. By the way, progression is the other term for sequence. Is it 75, 91, 88, or 80? Okay, let's see. Some of you answered B. Many of you answered B. A few answered letter C. Let's see who among you is right. All right. Recall po natin that the explicit formula in finding the nth term of an arithmetic sequence is a sub n equals a sub 1 plus the quantity n minus 1 times t, where a sub n here represents the nth term, a sub 1 is the first term, n is the number of elements, and d here is your common difference. Now, from here, we are given a sub 1 equals 4 and a sub 3 equals 10. Notice nyo po, no? Take note po natin always na kung ano man po yung n na ginamit dito, same lang po yan sa n na nandito po. In this case, the highest value of n that we have, or the subscript here, is 3, di po ba? So we will let n be equal to 3. So if we replace all n's here by 3, magiging a sub 3 equals a sub 1 plus 3 minus 1 times d. And this simplifies to a sub 3 equals a sub 1 plus 2d. Now, in your opinion, in this case, ano kaya yung next step na gagawin ko?
Find the D, sir.
Find the d. But how can we find the d?
Just replace, sir, the third sequence equals to 10 and first is what? 4.
Okay, we will replace a sub 3 with 10, and we will replace a sub 1 with 4. With that, it becomes 10 equals 4 plus 2d. Then we will subtract both sides by 4. That gives us 6 equals 2d. Dividing both sides by 2 to solve for our common difference, you have 3 equals 3. So therefore, what we know now, another additional information, is that the common difference of this arithmetic progression is 3. Now that we have the common difference, we can now determine the desired term. So looking for the 30th term and using this formula, we will substitute n with 30 because we're looking for the 30th term. We know that a sub 1 is 4 and the common difference is 3. That's why a sub 30 is equal to 4 plus the quantity 30 minus 1 times 3. And with such, 30 minus 1 is 29. Then, Chemdas rule po tayo. We will perform the multiplication first. So 29 times 3 is 87. So a sub 30 is 4 plus 87, and that gives us the 30th term as 91. And if you answered B, be happy because you got the correct answer. Do we have questions or clarifications po?
None, sir.
Okay, none. Okay. So if there is none, thank you very much and a great day to one and all.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir.